Good morning, Jim Hodges here, Bella here. In the background, you'll hear chickens, you'll see cats coming and going, but welcome to our training. One thing about Bella, Bella is a German Shepherd. She's still a puppy, growing to become an adult. She has a very, very strong prey drive. You have seen this happen on occasion. We have to learn to work with it. We work with it in two ways. One, we demand leadership. See, she's looking at the kitty cat right now. And two is we start to try to develop games, interactive things to try to help make us more interesting at home. But those games involve smelling, getting a toy, working for a treat, working for a toy, games that may seem like prey type driven games for our dogs, so we become more exciting than the squirrel. We use treats a little bit in those games. We use treats just a little bit with obedience if we're trying to get her focus. But you see, even a treat, if she's treat crazy, does it affect her with cats? So if it doesn't, the only time I really use treats and obedience is with the come command. And we're going to do that all the time. We talked about it in training, but we're never going to call her to us unless she's committed to coming. Got a lot of work with prey drive. Prey drive, high energy is a lot. High energy can usually be mastered pretty well if you're consistent. Prey drive is something God gave her, and you're constantly going to be working with it through her life. But continue to do it and you'll make progress. How do you do that? You're very positive. You're very encouraging when she does what you want. You reward her in those calm state of minds. You reward her when she's doing what you ask her to do, okay? And you try to start involving yourself a little bit more when you get around other animals, cats, squirrels, birds specifically. I think you remember yesterday when we were working together, we had her in a place, and a plane came across. She watched a plane. That's prey drive, plain and simple. Okay, so we're going to start working. I'm going to go through the obedience on leash, of course, go through the hand signals, go through the consequence. You remember, I believe consequence is just as important as praise. We praise at least 20 times more than consequence, but we have to bite her when she knows what to do and chooses not to. I think you've seen from our working together that the bite is nothing near as strong as how much we might roughhouse with her, or when dogs interact with each other, they play rough. The bite is more timing and symbolic, if you will, okay? We have to get her attention, and you know the progress of how we're going to get attention and how we're going to establish who we are. So without further ado, we're going to start doing obedience. I have cats everywhere. There's been at least 3 cats out this morning that are all around. A couple of them right here, and you've probably already seen it in the video. But we're going to work anyway. You're going to see how I react to it. So let's go as the first command. Let's go as our walking command. Let's go. Good girl. Now, if she did not start with me just then, I would have bitten her when I got to the end of the leash. Good. Sit. Hand signal for sit. Good girl. Now she's in a sit and she has to hold it. Let's go. Sit. Good. Got a treat here, but I'm not going to give her a treat for the obedience unless I think using a treat at any given time, some days it will, some days it won't, will interrupt the prey. Most of the days it will not. Okay? When I tell her to sit, she has to sit. Excuse me. She has to hold the sit until I release her. So if she started to get up, I would take the leash and tap straight up. No, sit. Good girl. Sorry about that. Then break. Break is the release command. When I release her, she's free, but she still can never, ever pull me on the leash, okay? So if she started pulling on the leash, I'd tap the leash back towards me. When she gave in to me, I would praise her. Same with the let's go or the come command or any movement command. If I have to tap the leash, I'm going to tap it. Good girl. In the direction. Cat's coming into the viewfinder right now. Sit. Good. Down. Hand signal for down in front. Down is the command she has to do. Stay. I tell her to stay, she's got to pack her bag. She's going to be there for at least 2 minutes. But she has to hold it. As I told you, she can do the down stay inside easily for a half hour at a time. My other dogs around, us walking around her, over her, and everything like that. Sit. Good. Good girl. Break. Good. So now, if she didn't down for me, ideally, I would tap the leash that way towards the ground. Okay, you can tap it any way, but when we tap to the ground, she understands with the command what she's supposed to do. So sit is up, down is towards the ground, movement, let's go, heel, place. Any place we want to move to is in the direction we want her to go. When we tap the leash, we're tapping the leash. We're not pulling. When we pull, we do the work for her, okay? As a trainer, especially, you know, as I told you before, I'd usually tell people next 4 to 6 weeks, in this case, next 4 to 6 to 10 weeks, it's important that she does what you ask her to. If she messes up, she's going to mess up again and again until you fix it. So don't get frustrated. Just realize she messed up on a command and then repeat it until if you have the time, until you get it right 2 times in a row. Break her and praise her and love her for it, okay? Let's go. It's also important that when we've got this high prey drive like this, that we don't get too frustrated. We work, we try to build on success if possible, but we still bite if we need to. Sit. I was getting ready to bite, but she did. Good girl. Now the DOWN from the side. She can't see that easily. Down. Good girl. Atta girl. Break. So when she does what we ask, we praise. We try to praise with our words. We try to praise with our touch when we can praise with our touch, okay? We also use treats when we're going to use treats. Again, I've already said treats shouldn't be a main staple with her unless we can use it to divert from prey. Treats primarily should be used with her on the recall or the come command, which we're getting ready to do right now. Let's go. Good. Notice how I slowed up and how she looked. The other thing, no, I don't want her smelling the ground when we walk. Why is she smelling the ground? She's trying to smell where the cats have been. Sit. Good girl. Now I'm going to do the COME command. I've got a treat in my hand. Break. Let me get back into the frame a little bit better. Sit. Good. Now I'm going to do the recall command. On leash, I'm going to give her the command and expect her to come with me right then. Off leash, what am I going to do? I'm going to call her name, get her attention, get her excited moving to me, then I'm going to plant the name. We've talked about this, and this is going to be in your booklet that you receive. Come. She comes, she sits. Good girl. Praise. Treat. Atta girl. Praise and love. Now, she's still in a sit until I release her, because part of the come is to come and sit. If she got up, I would bite. Remember on the sit? No. Tap, no. Sit. Then good girl. After every bite, we still praise when she does what we want. Let's go. This is going to be real fun because we're going to have to do the place command here in a minute. And quite honestly, I don't know what I'm going to do. So we're going to figure this out together. I can tell you I'm a trainer. I do this. I know her. I know myself and what I can do. Never, ever put yourself in a situation or an animal in harm's way when you go to do something. Because if it backfires on you, we've taught a dog to do something which is actually grab a cat or get a prey animal with us right there by her. Let's go. Sit. Good. So we're not going to do place, now we're going to do the heel. The heel command is where she's right beside me, imaginary box. I tell her to heel, here's the hand signal, she walks by me in that imaginary box. My goal is to keep her in that box. When I stop, she sits. So if I step away from her, it's almost impossible for her to stay in the box, but what I want to see her do is move to me in the box. Okay? Heel. So I'll turn, Step away. Good. Stop. She should sit. Good girl. And she should hold that sit until I release her. Good girl. Right. Good. Now, when we've got a high energy dog like this, the high prey drive, primarily high energy in this case, we don't want to go, hey girl, atta girl. Because all we're doing is putting more energy into her, more reaction time. See how she's getting crazy? We tend to want to work very deliberately, and we want to be calm when we're giving praise. We can save the really exciting stuff for playtime. Okay? Let's go. All right, we're going to see what happens here. Place command is where she gets on the bed. She can lay down, sit down, stand up, read a book, do whatever she wants to as long as she stays on the bed. Fortunately, our bed's not really going to be outside very often. It's an indoor command primarily. But she can do the place command for an hour or two at a time. Place. Good. Not place. Not place. Good. So why did I tap her? She was actually on the bed, but she was looking at the cat, and I'm trying to redirect the prey drive right now. Good. So you see, she's sort of looking at her, looking at me. Now again, you would never do this unless you knew the outcome. In fact, if you wanted to put her in a command and a cat or a prey animal or a little child or something that you were a little bit concerned about was around, you would actually, let's go. Tap, tap. I wanted her in my direction. And watch when I do this if this turns her on or not. All right, Libby. Go. Go. All go on, baby. Go. You've got to have your dog's back. So you've got to remove that potential hazard. Place. Good. Now, knowing Bella, see, she's trying to smell where Libby was. She's going to keep looking at that cat. She can't help it, okay? And the only thing we can do is try to make ourselves more exciting and work with her, and through obedience every day, show her she has to obey. Now, again, she gets off, I'm going to bite her, and I'm going to bite her back to the bed. Good. She can stand up, that's okay. If she sat down, that's good, I'll praise her. If she lays down, I'll praise her for that. Good girl. And again, this is something that we can do for an hour or two at a time. Inside, we're going to have a leash on her for the first few weeks so that when you're cooking, you're enjoying television, you're reading a book or what have you, she's on the bed. If she gets up, you can go get the leash, go get her, take her back to her bed. No, place. Good girl. And then immediately go back to what you're doing. Am I being too bold? No, I don't think so. You want me to tell you why? There's a cat behind me, but I can do that in just a second, okay? I think she's going to hold it anyway, but I don't know for a fact, but I'm 99% certain she's going to hold it. Felt pretty certain she wasn't going to do anything with the cat, but I'm always prepared, okay? That's what happens when you're dealing with a dog, with a non-human entity that you don't exactly know what's going through their mind all the time. Good girl. Break. Atta girl. So here we go one more time. Sit. Good. Down. Come. Sit. Didn't have a treat in my hand. I'm going to pet her. Now maybe what I'll do is get a treat. If I see she's looking for my bag like this, I'm going to pull out a treat. You think I'm going to give it to her right then? No. I might come around and move it around to another hand. I might sneak it out. Atta girl. Come in from another direction. Break. Good girl. So off leash, remember, she's going to be off leash. She's not going to be paying attention. See if I can emulate that. She's around me too much right now. Good girl. When she is watching you, when she does want to be with you, you praise her, okay? She's a good girl. She's just that powerful sort that really is connected to playing games through her very strong prey drive. Let's go. All right, last thing I'm going to do is the load up command. Yeah, we got Libby around. Libby, go on, baby. I'm sorry. Poor thing, she's 14 or 15 years old. Good girl. Good. See, I was ready. If he'd have reached over towards her, sit. Good, break. Up. Atta girl. So if I was going to load her in the car, I might have her sit first and then tell her to load up. Good, and she stays there. Break. So see, this is a real strong dog. This is a dog that a lot of people would try to overpower. And overpower is not going to win respect. It's a combination of leadership. When I feed her, she has to sit to get our food. When I go in and outdoors, she sits before I go in. I have her sit. I go through the threshold. I release her. Nothing is free. She has to earn it. If I want to give her a treat, if I want to love her inside, I may make her do something. If she's off leash and I knew she wanted my love, I may make her do a command for her. She didn't have a leash and she didn't do it, I would go, no, sit. No, sit. Good, just like that. Now, break. Of course, I didn't tell her to sit first because I felt like she would have sat. I was trying to give you an idea. If she didn't have a leash, you just grab her collar and pull up. Calm, strong, consistent leadership. You know, I'm always here if you ever have any questions. I think you'll agree with me. She's gone a long way. She still has a long way to go because of that high drive she has. But as I was telling you with my shepherds, my youngest has got a tremendous prey drive. He is to the point now that I truly believe I can leave him out with my cats without watching or semi-watching, okay? But what did I do to get there? All the time I was regulating what was happening. Thank you so much. You know, Jim Hodges, my number is 336-945-3232, JimHodgesDogTraining.com, and my Facebook page, type in Jim Hodges Dog Training. I really appreciate it. You know, I'm always here for you if you need me. Thank you so much. Take care. Good girl.